When you spend money on people, you give up control. So I was familiar with control because it had gotten me to where I was at. I learned the skills and I knew how to do these things and I could do them. But that limited me from breaking free up to the next level, to the next season. I don't know if anyone is resonating with this or if this is connecting with anyone. And so for certain years, I was able to incrementally grow to certain levels based on the level of control that I had, the skills that I had, the knowledge, the emotional availability I had, and pushing for results, driving results, taking action, hustling, working hard, working late hours, doing whatever it took. Great. That got me certain results. But then I was kind of stuck for a couple of years at those results. And I was like, what? And I was having breakdowns in certain areas. And I realized breakdowns typically happen when we stay stuck in a pattern of familiarity, when we stay in our comfort zone. We continue to start to have little breakdowns that happen, or your friends or family, you have disagreements or whatever it is. You have little breakdowns that could cause into bigger breakdowns eventually if they're not handled. And what I learned is I was having breakdowns in intimacy and in my relationships. Mostly, my girlfriends over the years. And I realized that not in all cases, but in most cases, how we do anything is how we do everything. Again, not in every case, but in most cases, how we show up in one way is how we show up in lots of ways. Um, and I realized that I was showing up in ways that was living out of fear in intimacy. And then that would show up in other ways in business or friendships or things like that. And so I said after many years, okay, I'm the common denominator of the results that I'm getting. I am at the source and the center of where I'm at in my life. And if I am the source, then I can create something new, but I must learn and overcome a barrier to getting there. There are barriers to getting what we want. And we talk about it in the book, The Barriers to Greatness. There's a whole chapter on the barriers to greatness. So in order to create something new, I must overcome something that I've been afraid of.